fashion and art and how they intersect. Maybe you want to be an entrepreneur or start a fashion line or start a company, and maybe you can learn from my mistakes or my wins and losses, and that's kind of the idea. Aloha YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Kelly Carlson, artist, producer, Los Angeles and all over the place. Whoa. I just got back from Miami, Key West, and the Bahamas on my bold journey to Branson, trying to get the attention of Sir Richard Branson to collaborate with me on my film, Desert Falcon, that I'm producing with my amazing team. You can find out more about that on my few episodes that I started before. We started filming in Morocco. And it's a really exciting, cool, and challenging project. Luckily, when I was there, I got to meet with some of the people that work at Virgin Voyages and told them about the project, and they wanted me to send over a proposal. So that's going down. So I came back and worked with the skydiver Anaz Bakali, who is amazing, and the other director and executive producer, Graham Sorsa, and we put together a proposal and sent it off. So we're waiting to hear back, and I'm nervous, and regardless of what they say, I'm still going after Richard Branson himself, and I'm not going to quit. Now, upon my arrival, I slept for like 3 days. It was wonderful. I turned off my phone. I kind of told people I wasn't back yet. It was amazing. Okay. So here we are, snap 2. So when I came amongst the living, I got an email from an art gallery in Mallorca, Spain. And they were like, hey, we are doing this art show and there's a competition, and whoever wins this selection process gets to do an artist in residency for a week here. And it's an all expense paid trip, and you get to paint on the top story of the art gallery in Mallorca, Spain. And I was like, what? And the deadline was in like a week. And I was like, oh, I just don't even know if I can handle it. I just don't even know if I can do it. Like, I'm so tired and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, you know what? It would be stupid if I didn't try. And who knows what would happen. You never know what you could miss if you don't try. So I was tired. I was over it and blah, blah, blah. And then I decided I'm going to go for it. So in this episode, I am going to tell you what's going on behind the scenes as a producer of the movie Desert Falcon. If some of you don't know, that's an extreme sports movie that I am producing with my amazing team that is about making history in human flight, which is next level cool. I never thought I'd be able to do something like this. And it's really challenging. We've started production, and Hollywood is in a crazy state of affairs right now. And it's hard to make things happen and get off the ground. So the good news is that we've started. And the current news is that I'm looking for the right brand partners and sponsors and the right money to come in to finish the rest of the project. So hope to finish it, have it edited in 2025. Oh, God willing. In the spirit of that, it really makes me feel like this would really ice the cake on my fit today. Yes. Okay. Art and fashion. I got this in Morocco, which I never would have gotten this fabulous hat if I gave up on that very difficult dream to pursue and produce this movie. I also would have never met the amazing people that I get to work with, which is, the best part. Fashion and art and how they intersect. Okay, so basically, I've been an artist since I was a little tiny person. Mermaid Manor is my fashion line that is in development right now. That should be dropping in 2025 as well. And part of this channel is that, I want you to be able to follow along on the journey. Maybe you want to be an entrepreneur or start a fashion line or start a company, and maybe you can learn from my mistakes or my wins and losses, and that's kind of the idea, And I just think it would be fun to get your feedback as I go and tell me what you think. So this is one of my pieces of art that actually has a couple of different colors going on in it that I designed to make potentially as a print on clothing. And now it has become a print on clothing. So we're testing to see how the colors come out and how they print. And we're doing a couple of different colorways, but in this print, okay? So it's kind of a little set that we call the Gangster Girlfriend set. And it's like a chill kind of, we're going out to dinner after the beach type of mood type of thing. Like you could wear it with an open bikini top, kind of like a boy's open shirt and some kind of loungy pants, almost pajama-like. And who doesn't love that? I certainly do. So the quest is I wanted it to be on silk, and that is both expensive and difficult to make, and you never know how the colors are going to transfer onto the fabric until you do a sample swatch. So we've had some made on some samples of fabric that weren't silk, but that were really cool. And when I go over to Courtney's house, you'll kind of see what those are. I'm going to show them to her. Let's talk art and fashion. And Courtney is my best friend, who's the technical designer of Mermaid Manor, and she's an amazing fashion designer as well. And we've been friends since we were little. And I'll show you a little montage of her and her fabulosity and us together. Yay. We've known each other since we were 2. And she taught me how to pump on the swings, and we've been best friends ever since. Very fashionable. Very fabulous. Okay, so at least once a week I come over to Courtney's house. This is her colorful, magical apartment, which we all love. Okay, and that's where Boogie lives. And we discuss the next steps and make sure that we are on the same page for her technical approval, and both of us have creative approval off of every decision that we're making moving forward. So I know we're on the same page. So the next steps are really to commit to how many fabrics we're going to use, and the exact colors we're going to use in the whole collection, and the samples being made. And then I'll start moving forward with really creating the rest of the business plan and the financial projections of how much this is all going to cost, which makes me go like this in a corner. Okay, so this is my painting that was transferred onto fabric that will be turned into clothes, which is super cool to see. And today we're matching the colors in this yarn book to give to the factory, so they make sure that the colors are accurate. So when they printed it, you could like see the little pieces of the canvas. And so obviously I need everything to be crystal clear and all of these lines to be sharp. And it's just really cool to see. And we have to do all of these tests. So when I'm evaluating like whose opinions I value the most, I start with Boogie. So Boogie, do you like this? Boogie, thank you for your professionalism. Do you want a treat? Mermaid Manor and starting a fashion brand, it's like the number one people with experience tell me, you know, this is going to be hard. I'm like, yeah, but nothing good comes easy. Or does it? Unless it's Uber Eats. Okay. It's been a slow and steady kind of thing. And I've learned at this point that rushing anything is bad, at least for me. That goes for my friendships, my projects, my relationships, anything I do, work. So I don't want to rush into it and cut any corners. And I really want this to be special and cool. I want to build a big legacy brand. Mermaid Manor. Power and glamour. My tagline is look like a mermaid, riot like a pirate. Yeah. I'm, going downtown to the factory where I get back the samples and talk with the other technical designers down there. And they communicate with each other. And then, I go over to Courtney's and we discuss the next steps of what we think is going to happen. So I'm just leaving the factory in downtown LA and got some of my samples back to see the embroidery and colors after they dyed the fabric. And
We'll get the next round of samples and then do some fit corrections, and then we will get the final samples probably in like a month. Whee!
As an artist, it's really fun to think of, drawing my own prints and then those becoming prints on clothes. These are my at-home pepper pom-pom booties, by the way, and they're everything. Let's roll. We're back in LA, we're back in Hollywood, and it's time to make it happen. Mwah.
Okay, upon my arrival back from the Caribbean on my bold journey to Branson, the proposal is sent, and now we're waiting for the reply. I'm so anxious. Positive vibes, you know what I'm saying? And another cool kind of opportunity came my way for art, and there's a very cool gallery in Mallorca in Spain, and they're having a art competition where if you are selected, it's an all expense paid trip to be an artist in residence from like December 5th to the 14th. I'm going to submit and I'm going to go for it. So there's one of the paintings I'm working on. That's not the one. I'm doing a new piece. Here's some of my other work. That's Faded Hearts. That's actually going to be used for Mermaid Manor. I'll talk about that in this episode too. There's an easel I found on the side of the road. One man's trash is another man's treasure, or mermaid's treasure. So I'm gonna take you guys to the art store to get my supplies. I just found the picture frames I'm gonna use at the art show for submitting to Mallorca at this awesome thrift shop. So, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So now I'm going to the art store to try to figure out how I can do the water effect of what I'm going to try to do dripping down from these. So I got 2 of these for $30. Yeah. Like how some people feel about Target is how I feel about the art store. Like I need to get out of here quickly because I will spend all my money here. This is my heaven. Look at all these colors. But I get so many ideas. This is some of the stuff I'm using. And the painting will be red. So the quest is, how am I going to get picked for this from the rest of the crowd? I know the other artists are going to be really good, and I'm actually really excited to see all of their work. But I really want to get selected to go to Mallorca. I mean, is that like the coolest thing ever? Well, to me, that's like so ultimate. Okay, so like the couple of goals that are happening is, the movie Desert Falcon and my bold journey to Branson, really finishing the business plan for Mermaid Manor, and finishing this piece of art to get selected for Mallorca, which is in December. Come on. I really hope this piece comes out the way I want it to come out because, with all this stuff that I have, it's going to be a hit or miss. Okay. And I know you can't win them all, but you can win some. But I'll never know if I don't try, right? So, fingers crossed. So here we go. I'm working on the painting. This is just the rough. It's an underwater kiss. It's going to be titled, I Think I Met a Mermaid, naturally. And so I'm going to make this frame that I got at the thrift shop that you saw tilted at a diagonal so it appears like it's coming out of water. So I'm going to use this palette paper that is like non-stick, almost like what you would bake on something with if you were a chef, which I'm not. And I'm going to see how I can make it look like water's dripping off of there. So this is going to be a hit or a miss, folks, but trying to do something really new and fresh and inventive for this project that would be like something they haven't seen before. So I'm going to attach all of these together. So the water, which is actually gesso, see-through, will look like it's dripping down off of that. So wish me luck. Where most people use their kitchen and their kitchen island to cook, I of course paint. So this is going to be the underwater kiss. The deadline is Tuesday. It's Sunday. It's also 8 hours ahead in Mallorca. But I think it's coming out cool. And fingers crossed. All right, the deadline for the Casa de Arte show is today in true artist form, waiting last minute. There's the piece I'm submitting. Now, here's what I was working on that I showed you. Now, I think it's dry. That's supposed to be like water dripping down. But we're going to find out if it works. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to submit the painting. But that really doesn't fulfill my vision. So let's see what happens. Oh my God. So it didn't come out exactly the way I thought, but do you see all of this transparency? Now I'm going to put it on the wall and see if I can still manipulate it to look like water. I'm going to be so excited if this works. The torture of being an artist, the beauty of being an artist. So here's the test. It'll be like a shipwreck and this will be like water coming down. So now I'm going to cut and manipulate this to really look like water. Oh, if it works, I'm gonna be so excited. Oh, I just don't think it translates. Or does it? So here's the reality slash torture slash, amazingness of being an artist. After all of that effort I went into dripping, trying to make it look like water was coming off of my painting, it didn't look good. So trial and error, you can't win them all. So I ended up submitting this, and it's to be at a tilt. It's like, Captain Hook's pirate ship sank, okay? And this was in his quarters and like a dream of him kissing a mermaid underwater. So the piece is called How I Met a Mermaid. It's an underwater kiss, and it's to be at a tilt like it was found in a shipwreck. So that's how I submitted it. So let's hope that Casa de Arte in Palma, in Mallorca, and Artboxy, the people putting on the art show, like it. You never know if you don't try. So there it is. Tell me what you guys think of the piece. It's a lot of work. Look like a mermaid, write like a pirate. Mermaid Manor.